If you want more FIFA content from me, I'm now uploading exclusive videos to Patreon. The link for that is down below. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com. And of course, you can use the code TVM at checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. This is my first foray into Team of the Week moments. It's taken me a little while, but I've decided that with the lack of promo right now and the lack of real world football to get any new cards into the game, what I'm going to do is focus more on cards you can buy on the market rather than those of SBCs. I've noticed that people just aren't that interested in certain players because either your coins are running low or you just don't have any interest in that particular player for the SBC. These cards, of course, you can buy, try out and sell, so I thought that might make more sense. Even though a lot of them aren't really usable, Alaba has a better card already on the market, by the way. The Shapeshifters, it is an 88 rated, which is 2 overall higher than this. That's one of the reasons why I hope they change Team of the Week moments, because half the cards, literally half the cards they released, have better versions, either currently available on the market or they were available as SBCs as this dropped. Quaresma, for example, has a much better card than that Team of the Week card that they released, but they still did it anyway. And it wasn't like they were forced to, you know, like they weren't like he didn't score a hat-trick and all of a sudden, oh, he's, you know, they're forced to do it like they normally are with Team of the Week. They can literally choose any player they want here, but I digress. 86 rated left back Alaba. I like Alaba in real life, and I like him in FIFA, and I always have done, and unfortunately the 85 rated just isn't good enough. The 86 has had 2 upgrades more or less across the board, not quite, but more or less, and the 88 of course is a significant boost over all of them. I'm not actually sure what the price on the 88, so the 88 is going for around 200,000 coins, the 85 is about 25-30k, and then the 86 Team of the Week moments is between 75 and 85k. So it's a big jump from the base, but it's absolutely nowhere near the price of that Shapeshifter card. And of course, if you do want to play him as a left back, which I would have thought the majority of you will do, this is a good option. Of course, there is a flashback Boateng available. You can go and pick him up and link these two in together. He's got some really nice stats actually in certain places, and in other places his stats kind of drop off completely. This is not going to be a Class 1 card, you can tell straight away. But 79 acceleration isn't great, but 87 sprint speed, I hate that gap, but it's there. And it's not as bad as it could have been, you know, at least it's not like, you know, he's in 70s for both, I suppose. Decent shot power and long shots if you ever get near the edge of the area or whatever reason. Maybe you could just let fly and see what happens. 83 short passing for a left back is okay. The agility and the balance, not amazing. 79 each. We could boost that. And of course, we have done with the Guardian Chem style. You get 89 agility with that. The team I used him in is that right there. So cornered him in with some icons because I don't actually have, apart from Kimmich, who I could have probably used actually. In fact, I should have taken advantage of that because I've not used Kimmich anywhere near as much as I wanted to. I mean, every year I make this mistake, right? I think, right, I'll go Bundesliga because Bundesliga always have crazy good cards. And then for whatever reason, I just don't do it. Or this year I did actually. If you followed the Road to Glory, I did go Bundesliga very early on, and then I moved away from it because there weren't that many cards coming out for it, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I moved away from it, boom, here's all of your cards sort of thing, and we've got a Boateng, we've got Player of the Month, Sancho, which is very reasonably priced, and Royce came out and so on and so forth, and you can build a really good team. Upamecano, for instance, his Player Moments card is pretty nice, so yeah, you can build a really good team if you went Bundesliga from the start, and you're not, you don't get turned off by quote unquote boring teams. People always say that it's boring to build into one league, but it can be all right. So is Alaba any good? The answer to that question in a nutshell is he's not bad. You know, it's sort of one of those borderline cards that I could definitely see people using a lot, but then it's also a card that people can easily turn away from because there probably are going to be similar or better options out there. I will get a similar list up in front of me. So from the Bundesliga, there isn't really, I mean, the Roussillon Footmas card, if you did that, obviously through the Christmas period, then maybe you could argue that you don't really want to be doing Alaba. I don't know in terms of comparison what Roussillon and Alaba is. I'll I'll try and get it up now once I'm talking to you. In fact, I've managed to do it straight away. I am efficient. So in-game stats-wise, Alaba has 2,300 and Roussillon has 2,200. There's quite literally 100 in-game stats between them in Alaba's favour. So I mean, and he's got a better weak foot as well. And of course, you can't get Roussillon anymore. So I would argue that Alaba is the better card. He's not as quick, but he's got everything else going for him over Roussillon. The other comparisons, unfortunately, are just not that great. I mean, Digne has got a decent card. Not going to get the links that Alaba gets, of course, but still has a decent card. The Renato Sanchez of Lille, of course, he's got a very good shapeshifter card that is far better than this Alaba card. Unfortunately, he's not going to get the same link. So if you do need that link into Boateng, or you need that link into Kimmich, or whatever it may be, then this is the way to go, obviously. He's not a bad card at all, Alaba. Like I said, I do really like him in FIFA in general. I think he's got a very good card. I do like him when they convert him into a CDM. Of course, Foot Birthday has been delayed or has just not happened for whatever reason. Chances are we'll get a David Alaba Foot Birthday card, because we do every year, even though he's only been given recently a Team of the Week Moments and a Shapeshifter card. Chances are EA will give him a CDM. Did they give him a right mid last year? Was it something of that nature? There was something like that. Either a CDM or a right mid for whatever reason, but either way, it would be nice to see that. But in-game, in terms of his strengths, I mean, obviously with the chem style, you've got really good ball control. His defensive awareness actually goes to 97, and you can really tell. So what I mean by that, of course, is if you go back through the earlier set of clips that I showed you just about a minute ago, you'd have seen him come out of position to take the ball on several occasions, and he does that time and time again. He plugs gaps left by centre-backs as well, lays the ball in toward Hadji, who lays it off to Jari Lippmann there, and we get the goal. This is the review breakdown. Of course, if you're new to reviews, it might look a little bit confusing, but trust me, it's not that difficult to understand. Pros and cons on the left. We've got whether he's capable of playing in foot champs. I've put borderline there because, to be honest, it depends what you're currently running. I wouldn't try and force him into a team. He's not that good. But if you do have the likes of Boateng and you just need a strong link into him, maybe you do play a moment's Kimmich, this is just the perfect triangle. You know, you get Boateng at centre-back, you put Kimmich at CDM, and then you get Alaba, whether it be the Team of the Week moments, or you go and get the Shapeshifter card. Of course, that is a centre-back, so you'll have to put him at centre-back. But still, you can make some nice triangles and get some really good chemistry between those three players in particular. And of course, then you've got Sancho and Royce and all the rest of them. Axel Witzel's got a really good set of cards. You could link them in as well. Bundesliga, man, it's the way to go. It really is. They've got some sensational cards, and if you put some icons in there as well, you can create a really, really good team. He played an 8.1 average. In that position, I tend to average about a 7.9 for each player. That's actually creeping up now. I wouldn't be surprised if... I am keeping a running tab of it, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next review if you saw the average fullback being around 8, because I've used a fair few fullbacks recently who have been posting relatively good scores. Now, in terms of value for coins, I have got him in there as an 80 because it's not like a cheap sort of, 25, 30k card. You are going to be paying best part of 100k for him. There's not an awful lot of change out of 100,000 coins. So in my opinion, he's not the best value for coins. He's only that expensive, really, because of the links. I think if this was a English left-back in the Premier League, he wouldn't be that expensive. I think he probably would be around the 50k mark. And if he was a Swedish left-back playing in Denmark, then he would be literally 25,000 coins. So you are paying for links, which I think is justified because he will help you out a lot if you have certain players. In terms of the enjoyment, I did really enjoy him. I do like him. If it weren't for me requiring the coins on this account, I would definitely keep him. I am going to sell him on, though, so that I can go review someone else. But I would definitely recommend him. Overall, I'm only giving him an 82, but he is in a Class 2. So it's sort of like, to be fair, he was a little bit borderline whether I was going to put him in a Class 3 or not. But I definitely think it's a usable card. And that's why I've got him borderline for Foot Champs. I think if you need him for links, then yes, he's usable. Put him in there. And it's a fair trade-off to be able to use Kimmich and Boateng and what have you. But if you're not using Boateng or Kimmich, or you're not necessarily using him for links and you're trying to force him into your team, then you need to rethink it, because then I don't think it's worth trying to do that unless you are a huge David Alaba fan or you're a Bayern fan, and in which case you probably do have Kimmich and Boateng anyway. But overall, I think this is a solid card for the class that he's in. It's not a world beater, it's not a class 1, it's not up there with the best left-backs in the game, but he is a very good card, and I did very much enjoy myself. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next. If you have enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.